Imagine waking up one morning and noticing a small spot on your skin. At first, it looks harmless, just another mole or maybe a tiny mark caused by the sun. You ignore it, thinking it's nothing serious. Days pass, weeks go by, and suddenly you realize that the spot looks different. Maybe it has changed in color, maybe it has grown in size, or perhaps it feels a little strange when you touch it. This moment of doubt, that small detail on your skin, could be the sign of something that many people overlook until it becomes dangerous: skin cancer. And the truth is, most people underestimate how important it is to stay alert to the signals their own skin is giving them every single day. Skin cancer is one of the most common types of cancer in the world, and yet, it's also one of the easiest to detect early, if you know how to pay attention. But here is the challenge: we live busy lives, we wake up, rush to work, get caught up in routines, and very rarely stop to actually observe our own skin. How many times do you really check the back of your arms, your shoulders, or even your back in the mirror? Probably not very often. And that's exactly why many people only discover something unusual when it's already advanced. This video exists for one reason: to help you become more aware of the signs, to understand what your skin may be trying to tell you, and to give you tools to protect yourself in a way that is simple and effective.
Give you tools to protect your
before we dive deeper,
simple
let's think
and
about
effective.
Something. Your skin is the largest organ in your body.
Your skin is the
covers
largest
every part of you. It protects you from heat, from cold, from bacteria, from injuries, from everything in the outside
bacteria
world.
from
And yet, it's often the most neglected organ of all.
neglected
People worry about
organ
their
of
heart,
all.
their lungs, their stomach, but skin. Most of the time, people only care about it when they want to look good in photos or when they buy beauty
Photos
products.
or when they buy.
What many don't realize is that beauty and health walk hand in hand when it comes to skin.
And when it
healthy
comes to
is
skin.
not only about appearance, it's about protection, survival, and awareness. And this awareness is what may save you from serious problems in the future. Think for a moment about how much time you spend under the sun. Even if you don't go to the beach, you are exposed when you walk, when you drive, when you sit by a window. The sun is powerful, and while it gives us light and life, it also has a hidden danger: ultraviolet rays. These rays penetrate deep into your skin and can cause changes in your cells. Over time, those changes can turn into something serious. And here comes the crucial part: skin cancer doesn't appear out of nowhere. It develops slowly, silently, and it always leaves small signs along the way. The question is, are you paying attention to them? This is why we are here today. To talk about how to identify those signals, how to train your eyes and your mind to notice when something is off, and how to remain alert without living in constant fear. Because awareness is not about panic, it's about prevention. And prevention starts with knowledge. Once you understand what to look for, you gain the power to take action at the right time. Imagine this: a small irregular mole on your arm that you ignored. If left unnoticed, it could cause severe damage. But if you check it early and ask for professional guidance, the chances of a positive outcome are incredibly high. That's why education about skin cancer is so important. It literally saves lives. And it doesn't require expensive treatments, complicated exams, or huge sacrifices. It requires something simple: attention. The ability to stop, look, and recognize when something doesn't look quite right. Throughout this video, I want you to feel like you are in a conversation with yourself, a moment to reflect about how much you really know about your own skin. When was the last time you checked the moles on your body? Do you know how many you have? Do you notice if one of them has changed? These questions may sound simple, but the answers are crucial. Because sometimes, the smallest detail can reveal the biggest risk. Stay with me until the end of this video, because the information you are about to discover could completely change the way you see yourself in the mirror. You will learn how to look at your skin not only for beauty but also for health. You will understand why certain spots should not be ignored. And you will walk away with practical tips to stay alert and safe in your daily life. The story of skin cancer is not just a medical issue, it's a story of awareness, of noticing the invisible before it becomes impossible to ignore. And the earlier you recognize it, the more control you have over your health. This is why what you are about to hear is so important. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about preventing disease, it's about living with more confidence, knowing that you are taking care of yourself in the right way. So, as we begin this journey together, open your eyes, literally. Start looking at your skin with more attention, more detail, more care. Because every freckle, every mole, every mark tells a story. Some are harmless, others might be a warning sign. And the difference between the two could depend entirely on your ability to stay aware. This is where it begins, the journey to truly knowing your skin and protecting yourself. And from this moment on, I want you to commit to one thing: do not ignore the signs your body is showing. Because sometimes, they are more important than you think. Now let's take this conversation even further. If you truly want to stay alert with your skin, you need to understand that awareness is not about memorizing complex medical terms or living in constant worry. It's about recognizing patterns, learning how to read the signals, and knowing what's normal for you. Each person's skin is unique. Your moles, freckles, and marks are like fingerprints, and they tell your personal story. That's why the first step in staying alert is to get familiar with your own skin. Think about it. How can you notice if something changes if you don't even know how it looked before? It's like having a picture on your wall that you never pay attention to. One day, someone could replace it with a completely different painting and you wouldn't even notice. That's what happens when people ignore their skin for too long. They only realize something has changed when the difference is too big to overlook. And by then, it might already be advanced. That's why creating the habit of observing yourself is such a powerful tool. Start by doing something simple: stand in front of a mirror and actually look. Notice the details on your arms, your legs, your chest, your back. Use a smaller mirror to check places that are hard to see, like the back of your neck or behind your ears. Even ask someone you trust to help you check areas you can't reach. It may sound uncomfortable at first, but it can save you from years of regret. Awareness begins with observation. And observation is free, quick, and available to everyone. The human mind has a fascinating ability to ignore what it sees every day. We get used to things around us so quickly that we stop paying attention. That's why changes on the skin often go unnoticed. But when you train yourself to be more observant, you become sharper, more aware, and more capable of catching details that others might miss. This skill doesn't only help with skin, it makes you more connected with your body as a whole. Now let's talk about one of the most important things to notice: change. A mole that looks the same for years is usually not a problem. But when a mole begins to change, whether it's in size, color, shape, or even how it feels, that's when you need to be alert. Think of it like this: your body is constantly renewing itself, but certain changes are warnings, like an alarm going off. And if you ignore the alarm, you put yourself at risk. Here's something powerful to keep in mind: early recognition changes everything. Studies from around the world show that when skin cancer is caught in its initial stages, it's highly treatable and outcomes are very positive. But the challenge is that many people don't pay attention until it's too late. Not because they don't care, but because they don't know what to look for. That's why education is so important. The more you know, the safer you are. But staying alert isn't only about looking at moles and spots. It's about understanding your lifestyle and how it affects your skin. Do you spend long hours in the sun without protection? Do you go out during the hottest hours of the day? Do you believe that a tan is a symbol of health? These habits, while common, can silently increase risks. And the tricky part is that the effects don't show up immediately. They accumulate over the years, slowly, quietly, until one day they appear as a visible problem. That's why prevention is not about what happens tomorrow, it's about the decisions you make today. Let's also talk about the emotional side. For many people, the idea of finding something unusual on the skin creates fear. Fear of what it could mean, fear of facing a diagnosis, fear of going to a professional and hearing something they don't want to hear. But here's the truth: avoiding the problem never makes it go away. On the contrary, ignoring it often makes it worse. Courage, in this case, is not about being fearless. It's about choosing to act despite the fear, because you know that the sooner you act, the better your chances. Think of someone you know who checks their car regularly: oil, brakes, tires. They do it not because the car is broken, but because they want to avoid problems before they happen. Your skin deserves the same care. Prevention is maintenance. It's not about finding problems, it's about ensuring everything is working the way it should. And if you discover something early, you'll have more options, more control, and more peace of mind. Another important point is awareness in daily life. Sometimes, the signs are subtle. A small sore that doesn't heal, a patch of skin that feels rougher than the rest, or a spot that bleeds lightly when touched. Many people dismiss these details as just a scratch or just irritation. But the truth is, your skin rarely lies. If something doesn't heal after weeks, if it looks unusual compared to everything else, it deserves attention. And that attention doesn't mean panic, it simply means checking and making sure. You see, the secret to protecting your skin is not to live in fear but to live in awareness. To build a mindset where you don't ignore your body's whispers. Because before the body screams, it always whispers. And those whispers are there for a reason. When you become more connected to those signals, you give yourself the chance to act before things escalate. Now imagine this: in a few years, you look back and realize you built the habit of checking your skin regularly. That habit becomes second nature, like brushing your teeth or washing your face. You don't even think about it anymore, it just happens. And because of that, you are always one step ahead, always prepared, always aware. That is the future you can build starting today. Staying alert is not complicated. It doesn't take hours of your time. It doesn't require special equipment. All it requires is your attention, your consistency, and your willingness to care about yourself. Because your skin is your story, and you are the author. The question is, will you write it with awareness, or will you let it be written by chance? Let's move now into the final part of this journey. You already understand the importance of awareness, of paying attention, and of noticing the changes in your skin. But there is one more essential step: learning how to maintain this alertness in your daily life without it feeling like a burden. Because the truth is, protecting your skin is not about making your routine harder, it's about making it smarter. Think of your skin as your lifelong partner. It is with you every second of every day, exposed to the environment, the sun, the air, and everything around you. And just like any important relationship, it needs care and respect. When you start to treat your skin not only as something that defines your appearance, but also as something that protects your health, your whole perspective changes. One of the simplest yet most powerful habits you can adopt is the regular use of protection when you are exposed to the sun. It's not about avoiding the sun completely, because the sun is also a source of energy and well-being. It's about learning how to interact with it wisely. A few minutes of protection can prevent years of problems. And here's the secret: once you turn this into a habit, it becomes automatic. Just like putting on a seatbelt when you get in a car, you don't think about it anymore, you just do it. That's the kind of relationship you should build with your skin care habits. But staying alert also means being consistent. Checking your skin once and then forgetting about it won't make a difference. What will make the difference is building a routine. Once a month, take a few minutes to really look at yourself. Compare what you see with what you remember from before. Notice if there are any changes, even the smallest ones. And if you are not sure, take pictures. Technology is on your side, use it. Create a small album on your phone where you keep these photos. Over time, you will create your own map of your skin, and that will make it much easier to spot anything unusual. And here's something many people forget: staying alert is not just about you. It's also about the people around you. Family, friends, partners, sometimes they will notice something on your skin before you do, simply because they see you from a different angle. Be open to listening when someone points out a spot, a mole, or a mark. Instead of brushing it off, thank them for noticing, because that observation could be valuable. In fact, encouraging those close to you to also be more aware of their skin creates a cycle of protection. Awareness spreads when you share it. Now, let's address another key point: balance. There's a big difference between awareness and obsession. You don't need to spend hours in front of the mirror every day or worry about every tiny freckle. The goal is not to create fear but to create confidence. Confidence that you know what to look for, confidence that you are capable of recognizing when something changes, and confidence that you are taking the right steps for your health. Balance is what keeps this journey sustainable. The more you practice awareness, the more natural it becomes. At first, it may feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable. But over time, it becomes part of your life. And when that happens, you'll notice something powerful. Not only will you be protecting your skin, but you'll also be building a mindset of self-care that expands to other areas of your life. You will become more aware of how you feel, more connected with your body, and more in tune with the subtle signals that often go unnoticed. Let's imagine together how this could look in the future. Picture yourself 5 years from now. You've built the habit of checking your skin monthly. You use protection when exposed to the sun. You encourage your loved ones to do the same. And because of these small but powerful choices, you feel more secure, more confident, and more at peace with your health. That peace of mind is priceless. It's not something you can buy, it's something you build, step by step, with consistency and care. And here's the final message I want to leave you with: your skin is not just a surface. It's a living, breathing shield that tells your story and protects your body. Staying alert doesn't mean living in fear. It means living with awareness. It means choosing to see, to notice, and to act when necessary. It means respecting the signals your body gives you. And above all, it means valuing yourself enough to care. The power is in your hands, literally. Every time you look at your skin, every time you take a moment to pay attention, you are making a choice. A choice to protect yourself, to stay informed, and to live with more security. Don't let that choice pass unnoticed. Use what you've learned today to take the first step, and then the second, and then the third, until it becomes part of who you are. Your journey to awareness starts now, and it continues every day with every decision you make. Let this video be the reminder that sometimes the smallest actions create the biggest protections. Your skin deserves attention, and you deserve peace of mind. So, the next time you look in the mirror, don't just see your reflection. See your story, your protection, your health. And remember, staying alert is not a burden, it's a gift you give yourself. A gift of life, of safety, and of confidence. And that gift will stay with you as long as you choose to care.